Well, it's lovely to see you both. Firstly, how are you?
Very well, Steve-O, and it's lovely to see you and lovely to be back.
It is, it's so nice. Feels like we've never been away. Actually, no, it's just got a strange feeling though around the place with the pandemic. It's just, I think Portugal's the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
The UK, nobody knows what's going to happen for certain, the second wave, and but no, it's really great to be back and seeing familiar faces and touching base with everyone.
Yeah, it's lovely to be back in Mansfield.
Let's speak about the pandemic and football. Let's rewind the clock. When this virus was declared a pandemic, and then football, specifically in League Two, was suspended and then cancelled, how did that affect Mansfield Town Football Club?
Well, it was awful. I mean, we could, to be honest with you, we could have been in a lot worse state, and it'd been a lot more, you got to feel for the clubs that were chasing the playoffs, who were close to it, and then have lost the opportunity that they had. It's an awful way to finish football. I mean, I think the way they've done it is probably one of the only ways they could have really done it, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, we had this WhatsApp group with all the other different owners of football clubs, and there were lots of different views about how they should finish. It wasn't ever going to be fair. And for us, we were probably in, like you said, we were in one of the better positions because, last season, let's face it, it wasn't our season. So
yeah, but you feel for some of the clubs who've been dealt a bad card really with the pandemic, and it's everyone, footballers, every person in the world has had to make sacrifices.
I think during those initial weeks and months that followed, when the pandemic was just it felt sprung upon us, I think football really had to come, as a low priority. We were really thinking about the NHS and all the care workers and protecting the vulnerable in society. And so for me, it was always a question of, football should only come back when it's safe to do so. So we were definitely not advocates of, trying to push to finish the season.
Let's just speak about the financial impact in a bit more detail. How did you both endeavour to mitigate the financial impact of this virus, the pandemic, on the football club?
Well, there wasn't much we could really do. I mean, the club did take advantage of the furlough scheme with the people that work in the stadium, and I think that was okay for the League Two clubs to do. Other than that, we've really just had to fund a lot of things ourselves. The Football League have given the club an advance on payments, on future payments. But
you've still got to balance that because it's only in advance. So,
yeah. It's losing your paying customers on a weekly basis. It hurts a football club as much as it hurts, the cinemas, the bowling alleys, the restaurants, etc. We all suffered, and so we all went through that pain together.
Mm.
When do you expect fans to be allowed back in football stadia?
They're saying the 1st of October, but we don't know what's going to happen, really, do we? So the only thing that the Football League are saying at the moment is that iFollow is going to be an important part of this season.
Yeah.
So
iFollow Stags is the way that, certainly for our season ticket holders, we'll make sure they can watch all the home games on iFollow Stags for them, and that the club will get revenue if any of our fans buy iFollow Stags tickets, especially on the away games as well.
Yeah, so we really want to keep pushing and make sure that, if you out there can really push friends and family, if you support the football club or if you just want to help out, your local club, please ask them to purchase. It's the away iFollow pass that's very important because we get 100% of the revenue after the first 500 sold.
Yeah.
So it's really important. The clubs that have got bigger away followings are going to do better out of this than perhaps the League Two clubs, or we have a core fan base, I'd say, that go to away games usually of about 400-500, which is fantastic. You know, they go away from home and support the club week in, week out. We want everybody now to really watch the away games on iFollow, pay your £10, because that's really the only income that we're going to have, other than us funding it ourselves.
Yeah, and hopefully we can open the stadium as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And I think we'll get restricted to home fans only to start with, and we're restricted on seating. Our season ticket holders will get first priority, obviously. But we can't wait for it to get back to normal, and I think the whole world can't wait for that to happen.
I mean, we watched the game on Saturday. It was an empty stadium, and it just feels so weird. It just doesn't have the same atmosphere, and I think the players also, they thrive off having support and, you know, the banter that goes on, and also the banter for us. It felt kind of a bit sterile, well, very sterile. It's just these crazy times. We've got to do whatever we're told and make sure that everybody's safety, you know, that's paramount.